They lied to you for 50 years. They hammered one message into your skull. From the moment you were old enough to understand commercials, they told you that the path to being a real man, a responsible citizen, and a success in this country ended at a front door you owned, the white picket fence, the two-car garage, the manicured lawn, the American dream. They told you renting was throwing money away. They told you buying a house was the safest investment on earth. They told you it was the only way to build generational wealth and secure your retirement. Here is the reality in 2026. That white picket fence is a set of prison bars, and that deed you think you own. It's just a ticket to a 30-year sentence in a debtor. It's prison built by Wall Street and the Federal Reserve. If you buy a house right now, today, in 2026, you aren't making an investment. You are committing financial suicide. You are signing a contract that guarantees you will work until you drop dead, just to keep a roof over your head that you don't even truly own. They set a trap, and millions of hardworking guys just like you walked right into it because you did what you were told was the right thing. You followed the script, but the script was written by the people collecting the interest. Today, we're going to look at the blueprints of that trap and why the American dream has become the American nightmare. How did they pull this off? How did they turn the ultimate symbol of freedom into the ultimate tool of control? It's simple. They rigged the math, and they count on the fact that the average guy is too busy working to sit down and run the numbers. Think about the last time you walked into a casino. You know the house always wins, right? The games are mathematically designed so that the longer you play, the more you lose. The modern housing market is a casino where you can't leave the table. Let's talk about the mortgage. The word itself comes from Old French terms, mort and gage, literally meaning death pledge. That's not a joke. That's history. It's a pledge that dies when the loan is paid or when you die. They use a little trick called amortization. They don't teach this in high school for a reason. If they did, nobody would sign the papers. When you sit at that closing table, sweating through your shirt, and you sign those papers, you think, okay, my payment is $3,500 a month. Some goes to the house, some goes to the bank. Wrong. In the first 7 to 10 years of that 30-year loan, especially with rates where they are in 2026, almost every single dollar you pay is pure interest. It's rent. You are paying rent to the bank for the privilege of borrowing their money. You aren't paying down the house. You're just servicing the debt. You aren't buying a house. You are renting money. And the rent on money is historically expensive right now. If you bought a $450,000 house today, by the time you actually pay it off 30 years from now, you will have paid nearly $1 million for it. The bank made more money on the house than the guy who built it, the guy who sold it, and you combined. But that's just the entry fee. That's just to get in the door. The real scam is what happens after you move in. The system is designed around the forever debt model. They need you tapped out. They need you living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because a man living paycheck to paycheck is a man who shows up to a job he hates every Monday morning without complaint. Once you sign that mortgage, you become a host for parasites. And there are 3 big ones. First, the local government. Your property taxes. People say once I pay off the mortgage, I own the house free and clear. No, you don't. Try not paying your property taxes for 2 years. See what happens. Men with guns will come and take your house. You never actually own it. You are just a tenant paying rent to the state in the form of taxes. And here's the kicker. That tax bill never goes down. It only goes up as the politicians mismanage the budget. They come to you, the homeowner, to fill the gap. You are a sitting duck. Second, the insurance cartel. Have you seen your premiums lately? In 2026, home insurance isn't just a safety net. It's a second mortgage. They are using every excuse in the book. Climate change models, crime rates, inflation, cost of materials to double or triple your rates. And you have no choice. If you have a mortgage, the bank mandates you pay it. If you don't, they buy a policy for you at 3 times the price and bill you for it. It is legalized extortion. Third, the silent killer maintenance. When you rent and the furnace blows up in the middle of winter, that's a tragedy for the landlord. When you own, that's $12,000 you don't have. That's a credit card charge with 25% interest. The roof leaks, that's $20,000. The foundation cracks, That's $30,000. They tell you your home is an asset, but an asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Your house is the biggest liability you will ever have. It eats cash. It destroys liquidity. The mechanism is designed to keep your liquidity, your actual spendable cash, at zero. A man with no cash has no options. A man with no options is obedient. Look around your neighborhood. Look at your buddies. Look at the guys you work with. I know guys making 80, maybe 120 grand a year. On paper, they're doing great. The government says they are middle class. In reality, they are drowning. They got the house, they got the truck, they got the toys, and they have exactly $400 in their savings account. They are one bad month away from total collapse. Let's talk about you for a second. Let's be honest. You wake up at 5:30 a.m., your back hurts. You chug coffee that tastes like mud. You sit in traffic for an hour to get to a job site or a cubicle farm, where a boss half your age, who has soft hands and no common sense, disrespects you. You do this 5, maybe 6 days a week. You miss your kid's ball game. You're too tired to talk to your wife. Why? Because on the first of the month, that mortgage payment is due. And it's hungry. It doesn't care if you're sick. It doesn't care if you're depressed. It demands to be fed. This is why you are tired. This is why you feel like you're running on a treadmill set to maximum speed just to stay in the same spot. The system has extracted all your margin for error. Back in your dad's day, maybe the 80s or 90s, the math was different. A house cost 2 or 3 times his annual salary. He could pay the mortgage with 1 week's pay. The rest of the month was for living, saving, and building a life. In 2026, in most decent areas, that house is 8 to 10 times your salary. The mortgage eats up 50% of your take-home pay. Then you add the car, the groceries, the insurance. There is nothing left. That's not sustainable. That's modern-day serfdom. You are working the land for the lord of the manor, and the lord is the bank. While you are sweating bullets over a broken water heater, wondering how to pay for it, who is winning? The giant asset managers like BlackRock and Vanguard are winning. They are buying up entire neighborhoods with cash, printed by the Fed, turning them into rentals, driving up the price so you have to borrow even more to compete. The bank CEO is winning. He's taking an $80 million bonus because his institution processed billions in interest payments from guys like you. The local politician is winning. He's padding his budget with your ever-increasing property taxes, while your roads still have potholes and the schools are failing. They love homeowners. Homeowners are stuck. You are anchored. If you rent and the job market in your city crashes, you can pack your bags and move to Texas or Florida or wherever the work is. You are light. You are mobile. But if you own, you are trapped. You can't just sell. You have to pay agent fees, closing costs, transfer taxes. If the market dips even 5%, you are underwater. You can't leave. You have to stay and take whatever low wage they offer you, because you cannot sell the house. This lack of mobility destroys your bargaining power. Your boss knows you can't leave. The system knows you can't run. You know the feeling I'm talking about. It's that low-level anxiety in your gut that never goes away. It wakes you up at 3 a.m., the feeling that you are walking a tightrope without a net, the feeling that you are one bad break, one layoff, one medical emergency, one divorce, away from losing everything. That fear is the point. That fear keeps you working. That fear keeps you consuming. That fear keeps you in line. They sold you a dream of stability, but they delivered a reality of constant financial fragility. Think about the equity myth. People say, but I'm building equity. What is equity? It's fake money trapped in drywall. You can't spend equity at the grocery store. You can't use equity to buy gas. The only way to access that money is to sell the house and lose your home or borrow against it and increase your debt. Meanwhile, while your money is trapped in the walls of your house, it's not growing in the market. It's not buying Bitcoin. It's not starting a business. It's dead capital. It's sitting there doing nothing, while inflation eats away at its value. So what's the verdict? The American dream of homeownership as it stands in 2026 is a lie. It's a relic of a time that doesn't exist anymore. It is a financial product sold to you by people who get rich off your debt. I'm not telling you that you can never own a home. But I am telling you that buying one right now, under these conditions, is a trap. If you already own a home and you're feeling this pain, I'm not telling you to panic sell tomorrow at a loss. But you need to wake up to what that house actually is. It's a liability, not an asset. Stop dumping extra money into renovations you don't need. Stop thinking it's a piggy bank. It's not. It's a consumption item. Treat it like one. And if you are young, looking at Zillow, feeling the pressure to buy because that's what adults do, stop. Don't listen to the boomers giving you advice based on an economy that died 20 years ago. They lived in a world where a summer job paid for college and a factory job paid for a house. That world is gone. Don't listen to the real estate agent. They are starving for a commission and will tell you it's always a good time to buy even if the world is burning. In this environment, cash is king. Mobility is freedom. Renting isn't failure. Renting is strategic. Renting is flexibility. Renting means when the economy tanks in your city, you can move to opportunity. It means when the furnace breaks, it's not your problem. It means you keep your cash in your pocket, ready to invest in things that actually pay you, instead of burying it in timber and concrete that the bank owns anyway. The system wants you weighed down by debt, rooted in one spot, terrified of losing your job. They want you to be a good little debt serf. Don't play their game by their rules. The only way to win a rigged game is to refuse to sit at the table. Stay lean, stay mobile, keep your powder dry, build real assets, businesses, skills, investments that are liquid, because the guys holding the mortgages, the guys drowning in debt to impress neighbors they don't even like, they are the ones who are going to get crushed when this house of cards finally wobbles. Don't let your pride write a check your future can't cash. Be smart, be free, and don't believe the lie.